Well, congratulations on the upcoming opening of Universal Epic Universe. And there's obviously a lot of great merchandise that the other two Wizarding World lands have had. But what was the approach to bring the merchandise to this specific Ministry of Magic Paris land?
That's a great question. So, in order to prepare and be able to share great merchandise with our fans and our guests, we started working on this over 5 years ago, quite frankly. And it started with our meeting with the Universal Creative Team in collaboration with them and our partners at Warner Brothers. We started researching what 1920s Paris, France was all about, and then started really diving into how that could translate to product for the Wizarding World.
And I was talking to some major Harry Potter fans while we're waiting to get into this portal, and you talked about how exciting it was to be in a part of the Wizarding World that hasn't been as familiar through the films. And so the merchandise, in the first original Harry Potter lands, there's so much to pull from the films.
Absolutely.
But here you got super creative and bringing whole new ideas and made it feel really special to this particular location.
Yeah, there's definitely some authentic product that the Uber fan is going to recognize. For instance, we have our 1920s era house robes from Hogwarts, which are exact replicas of what we're seeing in the movie. So we do still kind of have an ode to that. We certainly have our chocolate frogs and birdie bots, but what we've done is kind of spun it on its head, and so we have French chocolate frogs and French birdie bots. And then, with the expansiveness of Paris, we were then able to kind of just expand our creativity, and I think we really have presented some great product that the Uber fans are going to love.
Now you said you've been working on this for 5 years,
Yes.
and in just a matter of hours, the park will open to the public.
Yes.
And what's it like to have something you spent so long for, and including all the team members here, to finally see it come to fruition?
Finally having guests come and see all of this work is incredibly rewarding. It's very humbling. It's a once in a lifetime kind of experience, quite frankly, for a lot of us. And I'm just so proud to share it with the rest of the world. The entire park it's truly epic. It's not the wrong word to use. It is epic.
And is there a particular piece of merchandise that you are particularly attached to, you hope fans discover, as you have such a wide assortment here?
Yeah, we have an interactive Niffler, which we sell in the Gallery Mirafique, and the Niffler has become one of those fan favorites of the magical creatures, and so this is actually an interactive Niffler that you can take home and interact with, and I think that one was fun to develop and work on and finally be able to offer to our guests.
Well, congratulations. Thank you so much for taking the time out.
Thank
So
you.
congratulations on the upcoming opening of Epic Universe. Here you really, here at the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic, you really blended two amazing styles with the Wizarding World, but also classic Parisian architecture. What was it like being able to merge all that together into one unique land that's so different than the other two Wizarding World destinations at the other parks?
Well, that was a big challenge. I mean, we have to kind of study Parisian architecture. Like, we wanted to see, one thing we wanted to capture was just the scale of the buildings. Just to give you an idea of the difference, like you go to Diagon Alley and you look at the tallest buildings at Diagon Alley, they are between 30, 40 feet. Here, 30, 40 feet is our shortest building. We go up to 65, 70 feet tall. So, and we really studied what the Haussmannian architecture, because we wanted to represent the typical Paris of the 19th century. That's what we get here, with the tone, with a little bit of the magic that we want to get from the Fantastic Beasts movies.
And obviously Hogsmeade and Hogwarts and Diagon Alley, we spent a lot of time with those in the films. And while we've been to Paris in the Wizarding World films, we haven't spent as much time. So did you have to kind of fill in the gaps a little bit more than you did, for the original destinations?
There's a little bit of that. There's always that we have the partnership with Warner Brothers, so we get a lot of information and we know how it all works together. And again, we want to create things, we propose things that we think should live in this world. We have a great partnership, and they feed us the information that we want. We have, J.K. Rowling is always aware of what we're doing. Nothing is out of the canon.
And do you have a favorite detail as you created this land? I mean, you probably know this land more, every little bit, every little nook and cranny.
I mean, if you want for my favorite places, it's actually inside the ride attraction. Like once you go through the queue, the office of Dolores Umbridge is one of my favorite spaces. Just the amount of detail that went into that space, and it was weird because it's not only the office, but it's an office that's being packed. So we wanted to still show that's her office, but things are being archived. but you get the cats in the walls, you know, the little golden details. That was a fun room to work in.
Yeah, it's amazing. You're in this magical world, and suddenly you end up in your grandmother's house, and it just, you feel transported in that moment. It's really well done. So you were about to open to guests tomorrow. What's it like to, after years of development, to finally see paying guests coming and experience it, and you know, kids, grown-ups, the whole world that have grown up with this franchise?
It feels surreal. It is a wonderful experience. I've seen people walk into the Ministry of Magic. Once they walk into the Grand Atrium, I love it. I see people cry, smile. We even had a wedding proposal already happening there.
So
it's been a great experience.
Well, congratulations, and thanks so much for all your hard work to bring this to life.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for taking the time to talk to us. And there's some, the Wizarding World has always been known for its drinks, but you really seem to have taken it up a notch here in the Ministry of Magic portal. Well, can you walk us through some of the offerings here?
Absolutely. So here at Bar Moonshine, we have a wide variety of beverages that are inspired both, of course, by Fantastic Beasts as a franchise and also by 1920s Paris. So starting with Leaf Fleur 75, named for Fleur Delacour, of course. French 75 was which this is based on, was a World War I era drink, so it would have been very common in the 1920s. Sparkling wine, in this case, Bouvet Brut, which is a Chenin Blanc based sparkling wine from the Loire Valley, elderflower liqueur, lemon juice, a little bit of sugar to sweeten it up. Of course, we're displaying the Bouvet on its own as well. We have our Aval French cider, which is a dry cider from the Brittany region of France. A little more acidic and a little bit of tannins, which you wouldn't normally get on a dry cider in the US. It makes it a wonderful pairing for food. Our Low Blaster. So this is something that's mentioned in the world of Fantastic Beasts, but never shown. So this is moonshine, limoncello, lemon juice, a little bit of absinthe, a little bit of mint essence, and of course our Emulsion Vert on the top here. The Beauté Bleu d'Alchemy, the beautiful blue alchemy tea. As you can see, we are mimicking the color change of the alchemy from a light blue to a deep purple using our alchemy tea sachet over here. We have the Philosopher's Old Fashioned, named for Nicolas Flamel, traditional old fashioned, just bourbon, bitters, a little bit of sugar, and our orange zest. Sherbet lemon. This is a mule based off of a liqueur called Strega, which means witch in Italian. Also, there's vodka in here as well as some lemon bitters with our ginger beer to give it a little bit more complexity. Sherbet lemon was the password that Dumbledore used for his study. This rim here is lemon zest infused sugar to kind of give the flavor and aroma of that sherbet lemon candy. We also have edible lavender, garnishing it on top here. Then of course we wanted to show that some of our returning favorites are available as well. We have pumpkin juice in our new butterbeer, or in 1920s Paris, Beer Arbor style.
And you probably have spent a lot of time developing this and making sure it all contributes to the story. What's it like that you're about to open and you're seeing guests enjoy these drinks?
It's wonderful, it's exhilarating, it's engaging, it's surreal. It's just such a privilege for everyone to be able to work on these things and to be part of this wonderful, wonderful world.
Well, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thanks
much.
again for talking to us about now the Wizarding World Ministry of Magic.
Of course.
And so obviously we're in the Wizarding version of France, and France has a huge culinary history.
Yes, absolutely.
And you brought that to life here, presumably, right?
Yeah, absolutely. You know, right here in front of you, you have 1920s Paris. Right here, we're so happy and excited to really dig deep. Everything you see is from the 20s or before, right off the streets of Paris.
And so can you walk me through some of these
Yes,
offerings?
actually, one of my personal favorites, baguette de vigne. It's a cracked black pepper turkey on a crunchy French baguette, super delicious. Salad niçoise, fresh chunk tuna, pickled onions, eggs, little tomatoes, wonderful fingerling potatoes. Then our steak haché, fresh greens, French fries. Everybody loves a good sauce on their fry. We got our galette tomate de fromage, unbelievably baked fresh in house every single morning. Get it, grab it on the go, super delicious. Then you can't come to here and not get a bit of beurre crepe. So it's butterbeer on so many different levels. The filling, the topping, the sauce, even the cookie says beer beurre for you as well.
I had that. That was delicious.
Thank you so much. And then, of course, you know, we also serve breakfast here as well. Something that we only have a couple of venues as of right now that's doing that, and our delicious open cocotte. It's a soft-boiled egg, fresh lavender honey over some seasonal berries, crunchy baguette to dip it in there and enjoy. Then, of course, you can't have a French cafe without having delicious pastries. Baking these fresh in-house every single morning. When you walk into the building, you could smell the pastries cooking. That's exactly what you want. Sit on the patio, have a wonderful drink, have some croissants. It's absolutely out of this world.
And everything here just looks spectacular. And, obviously you have wizarding locations at the other two parks, but really infusing that spirit here really was a culinary masterpiece. I mean, this place this is very different than Three Broomsticks,
Yes,
right?
thank you. Yes,
and
absolutely.
You've really done a great job, and appreciate all the time you spent with us the last couple of days, sharing all these different locations.
We truly appreciate you coming in. We worked really hard on this. We've been working on Epic for a little over 5 years, and to have all of you come in here and enjoy everything that our whole entire creative team and culinary teams and food and beverage teams have created it's been a dream come true.
Well, I thank you. My waistline doesn't thank you, but I appreciate all you've done, and thank you very much, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.